Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How the devil are we all doing? Welcome into twitch.tv/ScreamUploads. My name is Graham Day. How the devil are you? And I am joined by, well, you know he is, Bibber. It's Bibber! All right, Bib.
Good morning, Graham.
Do you know what? We're going to go to Bib Cam, not because Bib is there, but because Coco's there. Good morning, Coco's butt. Yeah.
Cheers, you.
She did so turn around as well. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Alright, how are we all doing? Welcome into twitch.tv/ScreamUploads. My name is Graham Day, as mentioned. This is Bib, as mentioned. You can almost kind of see Coco right now, as mentioned. And anyway, we are Ice Cream Uploads. We are here to give you our thoughts and impressions on the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories from the world of video games. We want your thoughts and impressions on ours. So if you're in the chat, please feel free to get involved. There we go. It's been a couple of days off. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. Anyway, feel free to get involved. It has been a few days off. I wasn't here at the end of the week. You will probably notice my room, although not finished, is now starting to look very different from what it looked like before. It will change again, no doubt, over the next week or so. So we'll leave that for now. We'll put a pin in that and we'll come back to that when it's finished, because there is a lot for us to go over. Obviously, we've been bringing you E3 content over the weekend. Ice Cream Uploads and Friends, which is a nice, easy name that rolls off the tongue, but I keep mentioning on the streams. It's probably not fair because that kind of implies it's us that's doing everything, but it's absolutely not. Me, Bib, Mr. T, Nico, Show, and Ben from Next Gen Base have all been jumping in and out to host and co-host E3 watch-alongs from all of the showcases over the weekend. Starting off with the most exciting and riveting stream from Koch Prime Time on Friday, which Pibby absolutely loved. 2 hours of pain. So we had that first thing on Friday, Ubisoft Saturday, and then we had a bunch of watch-alongs on the Sunday night, and we had one amalgamated conference last night from Capcom, which also was about as exciting as the Koch one to begin with. Anyway, so we've got a lot of content that we can jump in and out. We're not necessarily going to jump into those conferences. If you want to see those, you can see those broadcasts on our channel, on Mr. T's channel, and on Nico's channel too. Show's channel should have been the hosting place for some of the Sunday content, but because he had OBS issues, those are on our channel too, so you will be able to see all of that. So we'll probably jump in and out of bits of that, but yeah, we do have 4 specific news stories that we are going to try and plow through for you today. So it's probably not going to be the longest show because we have things to do, but we'll try to give you we'll be concise rather than rushing. That's the words I'm looking for. Anyway, so as mentioned, we will give you our thoughts and impressions on the stories and the E3 conferences and stuff, but it's more important that you give us your impressions too, because we turn this live stream into a podcast, a video that goes on YouTube with all of the other videos that have gone on YouTube recently, plus an audio podcast that goes on iTunes and Spotify and SoundCloud and Google Play. So please do get involved on behalf of everyone else that watches and listens on demand. I'm talking to you, OG Bibby, and everyone else as well. Obviously, we appreciate you all. If you are watching and listening on demand, please do feel free to reach out to us. Let us know on social media or in the comments on YouTube, wherever. And we'll give you a shout. It's nice. It's nice to know. It's nice to know. Before we jump into the news, though, a little bit to mention. First of all, exclamation mark, insert coin, because I am wearing an insert coin hoodie. It's too hot to be wearing a hoodie, but it came on Sunday, or Saturday, I can't remember. Saturday it came, so I'm wearing it just like I wore one for the Xbox conference on Sunday. So yes, it will be coming after the stream. I'm just showing it off. Brand new Doom hoodie. Exclamation mark, insert coin in the chat. Chat bot is open, nice. To get yourself 20% off all insert coin products. As well as that, as always, a reminder that we do the loot drop. Exclamation mark, loot drop. And you can get yourself a prize every month just for being a sub. All the details will be in the tweet linked if you do type exclamation mark loot drop in the chat. And finally, exclamation mark Muscle Moose, because we're not giving them a shout out for a while. And today will absolutely be a Muscle Moose day for me. I've got a fridge right next to me, and it's stocked full of cold drinks. And like I say, sweating like hell with a hoodie on, so that will be in use. Anyway, babe. E3 weekend. Mr. T in the chat said, oh, it's gone now. Koch shudders. Apart from that, thoughts?
So far, well, but when you look at it from far, when we started to get the timeline of what was going to be taking place in the entirety of E3, I think everyone's hopes and dreams was pinned on the Microsoft and Bethesda conference. And I think that's probably the only one that's probably overall given us a super show. The Ubisoft Forward one was pretty good. But when we're talking about the shows that we're going to be talking about for a while, I think like that Microsoft Bethesda one would just hit all of the right notes. Everything that you could possibly want, including, let's get my pen and paper here. All of these games, barring 2, will be coming to Game Pass. I know it's probably going to be it's not going to be that legible, but that is a full A4 piece of paper, games on it that are all going to be coming to Game Pass. And I think that was the tone that Microsoft wanted to set. And I think that is exactly what they achieved. And social media isn't usually the greatest barometer of people's thoughts and feelings because it's full of assholes. But I did hear, but overall the consensus was it was a very, very, very good show. There was obviously people who was pissed off with whatever because people get pissed off about the smallest things, but I think that was easily the best show that we have seen. I think it's going to take a lot to beat it this year. Like, we've obviously got Gamescom coming up later on this year, but in terms of an absolute wall-to-wall banger of a show, I don't think there's many that are going to even come close with that.
No, I think you're right. I think you're right. I think my second favorite conference so far is, do you know what? I'll give a shout out to the PC Gaming Show, because one of the things that I was mentioning when we were covering the PC Gaming Show on Sunday was obviously you have to be the PC gaming crowd to fully take that to heart. And whilst I have a PC and I'm a gamer and I do some PC gaming, I'm still not a fully fledged PC gamer. So there's a lot of games in there that don't really speak to me. But 10 out of 10 effort for the like the fact that they built a narrative into the production and they tried to give it a good show and stuff, and whether that worked for you or not, that's that you can debate till the cows come home, but they tried to do something with the conference, so I'll give them a shout for that. But the limited run games, it's the first time I've watched limited run games as conference, and it was so funny. It was I don't know if it was half an hour, something like that, but they kept doing self-aware cutouts, and there was a bit that I tweeted from the Ice Cream Uploads account yesterday, and it's like, let's check out the limited run lounge to check out the hype levels or something like that, and it cuts to this grotty like storage room with just what looks like a person in a black sack wriggling around on the floor, and then it cuts back to the presenter and he goes, maximum hype, and that's it. They don't mention it, nobody says anything, and it just cuts to another game thing, and you're like, the fuck did I just watch? But it was genius. It was just like there was so much stuff like that they kept throwing in. It was like we spoke about it. So we watched the Xbox conference and so on, and the Outer Worlds 2 trailer. When we were talking about it yesterday on the stream, Mr. T said we might have been speaking because we didn't get the full impact of it, but I think it was the DMCA stuff. In taking out the audio, we inadvertently lost the voiceover stuff. So the Outer Worlds trailer, genius. The way that they basically said we don't have much to say, so we're going to narrate the trailer in a stupid over-the-top sort of way, but in a Hollywood movie voice kind of way. And that's probably the best trailer that's come out of E3, and with the same comedy, limited run games is definitely in the same sort of conversation. So yeah, Xbox definitely the best. Ubisoft also very, very good. But limited run games, if it wasn't niche, I think that one would be in the same conversation too. So definitely worth checking that one out.
Do you think that's part of its charm though? Because it is niche, they can get away with a lot more, because if you're looking at a demographic of a limited run games, I don't like to generalize, but I reckon that they are in the late 20s, like mid 40s kind of vibe. Like the limited run is for people who like to collect video games. And we're moving into a digital media now where a lot of people are just wanting digital stuff and they're not asked about all the physical stuff. So the demographic of people that are buying from limited run games probably do get that kind of humor, the stupidity, over the top, very self-aware. Like I said, humor. So GG's to them. They've clearly got their head screwed on with it.
There were so many good jokes though, like laughing at the digital future. Like I can't even remember the way they were doing it, but it was basically, the joke was just like, well, we're going to play our games forever, losers. It was kind of that sort of vibe. And there was another bit where they cut out to let's go live to our YouTuber influencer, and it was just basically some bloke just stood there, just over the top, going, "Hi, I'm a YouTuber influencer that influences on YouTube," and it was basically not adding anything to the show, but full on self-aware taking the piss. It was genius. It was genius. Check it out, genuinely. If you're not doing anything today, you want something, because I don't think there's a 2:00 kickoff in the football today. So if you want something to keep you busy for half an hour,
results in it.
So yeah, just
2 results, 2 matches.
Stick that on. There you go. Then you'll get 2 results. Jobs are good. Nice. Anyway, let's jump through the chat quickly. A chatbot is on, Graham, 2021. It is. It's actually, let me. I say it's on. It's open. Is it actually logged in? It's not logged in. Fuck's sake.
I can do it.
My
I'll open mine.
authorization token is invalid. Nice. You do yours, babe. Well, it looked like it was on. It was open. To be fair, this PC has been stripped down. Do you know what? If you don't clean your PC very often, let me be. I'm now a convert. After cleaning my PC the other day, make sure you clean your PC because mine was disgusting. Like it was just penned in behind my screens. Actually, can I show you? Can I get alt cam on this?
Are you still got it onto me?
No, I've turned it off. There you go.
No, you haven't.
So now my PC is over there. I can actually get into it to clean it, whereas before it was kind of squashed in. So, yeah, clean your PC. Do it. Your PC will love you for it. Nice. So, Gagad, good morning. Ads, good morning. Hashtag Switch for Pro confirmed. 4K. I'll read Northern Lads says Return of the Mac. By the way, if you do want another podcast to listen to, feel free to go check out Return of the Mac channel. I found out this morning. I didn't realize it was happening before, but the guys at the 30 Plus community, which is what's the best way of describing you guys? Is it a Discord community of content creators? Is that unfair or is that a good summation? If it is, then basically there's a bunch of content creators in Discord that have come together to create a nice homely Discord place, and they have started their own podcast, which was hosted on Return of the Mac channel and will be put onto podcast services, I believe. So make sure you go check out Return of the Mac and the other guys from 30 Plus too. Good morning, Chaos Riot Zero. How the devil are you, sir? Mr. Garlic Clark is in the chat. Hey, how you doing? Ad says, a lot to recap from Capcom. No comment. That was genuinely a disappointing conference. As much as we were trying to be positive about the conferences, talking about the limited run games and stuff like that, you have to consider the fact that we didn't mention Square Enix and we didn't mention Capcom in our roundup today, like that brief discussion, and that's because whilst they weren't. No, they were bad. They were. Square Enix was better in my opinion because there was something new. But Capcom was why bother? If you want to see that, then you should be able to check out the broadcast from last night. Mr. Garlic Clark with a sub. I can hear it, but I can't see it because it's not in my feed. Nice. Well, do you know what? Gary sounded like he subbed, but he didn't. There we go. There it's in the Twitter one. Gary has subbed for 9 whole months. Twitch baby. Yes. Thank you very much, Mr. Garlic Clark. Good morning. Appreciate you. Also, I don't know when these came through. They said they came through 1 day ago. I don't know if this was yesterday when we were on Nico's stream or what, but Magic Man subscribed for the full year. And it says that Bib did 34 months. Was that yesterday or was that last week?
Yeah, that was during the scoop yesterday.
In the scoop. Obviously, yeah, I wasn't on the scoop yesterday. That's why it's complete. I'm thinking it's Monday. God, there we go. Back in the room. Nice. Well, thank you, Bib, for the sub. And Madge and Gary.
You're welcome.
You're lovely people. Lovely. Madge says Hunters from Capcom. No comment. Munter Hunter for the win. Yeah, if you weren't in Capcom, that was one of the most exciting moments. Was when Nico said Monster Hunter as Munter Hunter, and that was the show made right there. Nice. Not gonna lie, I'm worried about Nintendo's E3 after what I've seen today. Says Ads. What have you seen today? Give us the spoilers. Do let us know. Let us know.
Apparently, just software.
Or just software.
As in, they're just going to be showing games. But we had a discussion this morning in the disc. Yeah, we had a discussion this morning in our Discord about the potential. Bacon Chin mentioned, I think Switch Pro at the end of Treehouse means that they stick to software-based chat and then go, oops, we forgot, and it's out now. I was like, imagine there would be absolute limbs if that was the case. But they're going to make you try and watch the Treehouse, aren't they? Because they know for a fact that 3 hours is a hell of a long time. So they're going to want to try and entice you with something. I personally don't think it's going to be the Switch Pro, but I think there's going to be something worthwhile watching the Treehouse for. Maybe not for 3 hours, but it may be something that you catch up with after the fact.
Yeah, well, we will have a live watch along tonight. So if you want any extra content, usually Tuesday is the day where you get the scoop and the scoop alone, nothing else. Today we will have our final E3 watch along, which will be the Nintendo Direct, which is at 5 p.m. That's about 40 minutes, according to Nintendo's words. So we will be on from probably 4:45 till about 6 o'clock-ish tonight to give you that conference. We will not do the 3 hours of Treehouse that follows that. We will recap anything that does come out of that, obviously, on tomorrow's episode of The Scoop. Okay, let's get ready to jump into some news. Let me just jump through the rest of the chat. Is it the Xbox mini fridge? It's not. So whilst that is cool, the Xbox One, you can probably fit about 5 cans in that, so it's not that one. I do have a sub-cold fridge, no Spawn. That's just the name of it. It says it right there, which is pretty big and decent. It's nice. Sony will win E3 after E3 is over with their own event. Maybe. To be fair, that Microsoft conference is going to take some beating. Even Sony's biggest state of play will still be hard pushed to do better than what Microsoft have done in there, because what was it, like 32 games, and all but 2, 3, 4 of them were on Microsoft's Game Pass. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Microsoft are basically like, no games on Xbox, here you go. Boom. Game over. Exactly, that was it. Gamescom is where we'll see PES 22. Microsoft showed us showered us with free games and lots of exclusive stuff that looks good. Easily the most impressive showcase, says Madge. 100%. Bacon Chin says, morning shaggers, what you need? Everything. Just you. Just here in the chat. Just being you. Good morning, Mr. Bacon Chin. How are you? Lake, I liked how PC Show was built like old-time strategy action games with the cutscene like videos, and Limited Run was pure class of show. Yeah, exactly. That was the nice thing. The PC gaming show it was weird because it was different. Not weird because it wasn't good. It was weird because E3 has become super formal, and I like the fact that, like Limited Run, PC Gaming Show was kind of still communal in that sort of sense. Online community, there you go. That's the easiest way to put it. No Switch Pro today. I saw Nintendo say it's software only. We've plenty not creating content. Appreciate the shout out. Well, appreciate you guys as well. Capcom stream could have been a tweet. Exactly. The way Bibby mentioned it yesterday, says, why do you need a conference for that? You could put that in a blog. Done. That's it. You've got space to overwrite for the blog. That's it. Easy. So there's no Zelda being shown. Also, apparently, like No Breath of the Wild 2, just Zelda remastered. Enix says, yo, good morning. Yeah. For ads, it's the treehouse of horror if there's no Zelda. Enix says, Naraka, I don't know what that one is. Been on my radar for ages. Beta tomorrow. Well, there you go. Good morning, Plum Rico. Anyway, good morning, everyone. I did say I would try keep up the pace this morning. So let's jump into our first story. If you were around for the Halo conference, or maybe not the conference, maybe you were around for the Halo multiplayer overview that followed that. I haven't seen that. The video for that is embedded in our next article. I haven't seen the multiplayer overview, but we do have some details coming from that around the Halo Battle Pass and how that could potentially be changing the landscape of Battle Passes going forward. We'll then follow that to give you something about Microsoft changing the cases. So Xbox Game Box will be changing once again. Back for Blood DLC will be accessible to everyone, as long as you know someone that knows it. And then Razer shows off its new face mask. So we've been wearing face masks for the last, 5,000 years, it feels like now. But if you want one with RGB LEDs and stuff built into it, well, Razer has you covered. We'll come on to that at the end of the show. But as mentioned, the first story of the day is on Halo. This is written by Tom Ivan at VGC, and it says, Halo Infinite multiplayer overview video reveals battle passes won't expire. 343 also details customization options, vehicles, equipment, academy mode, and more. There's a whole lot of stuff just in the tagline there. So 343 Industries has released a Halo Infinite multiplayer overview video offering a deeper look at the game's online component. I'm going to hit play on this video, but it's 12 minutes long, so I'm just going to put it on for a bit of fluff rather than anything else whilst I'm reading. Exactly, ambiance. Good word. Nice. Bibby's had his Weetabix this morning. Bit of ambiance. Microsoft confirmed.
Oh, fuck all, I'm starving.
Microsoft confirmed on Sunday that the game's free-to-play multiplayer experience will launch alongside its campaign during the 2021 holiday season. It will support cross-play and cross-progression on consoles and PC. In a 12-minute video above, released on Monday, 343 Industries shared further details of what's in store for players, including information about Halo Infinite's battle passes and the studio's stance on loot boxes. They also reveal plenty of information about customization options, vehicles, equipment, and onboarding features for series newcomers. Oh, see, that bit interests me. Obviously, I have not read this article. I'm going through this article for the first time, so that does catch my attention. Anyone that's watched any of the broadcast leading up to the Halo conference, starting with last year's first look at it, all the way through to being in the Xbox conference on Sunday. I'm not a Halo player. It doesn't really speak to me. So if they've got stuff for onboarding newbies, okay, now I'm in the conversation. So let's continue. We're coming at this from a player-first mentality. So what that means is that there's no random loot in this. There's no loot boxes, said live design director Ryan Paradis. It's very important to us that everyone understands how they unlock customization content, and we have a variety of places where they can do that. One of those is the game's battle passes, which won't expire, according to Christopher Blome, who leads the design team in charge of progression, customization, and commerce for Halo Infinite. The Halo Battle Pass will never be taken away from you, he said. What I mean by this is once you buy it, it is yours and it does not expire. In future seasons, you can purchase all battle passes as well as the current battle pass and choose which battle pass to put your progression towards. Paradis added, all of these rewards are single source, so you're never going to be confused where things are coming from. If you can unlock something in the battle pass, we're not going to let any other players circumvent that by purchasing it out of the storefront. Blome claimed a lot of our stuff is unlocked through playing the game and only through playing the game, and said all customization is just cosmetic. Paradis also said every Halo Infinite season, quote, will have its own theme and introduce new components, new looks, new gameplay for players, new opportunities to earn and collect cool rewards. Equipment returns with a bigger voice than ever before, with 343 viewing it as another avenue of not just skill expression, but tactics for teams to coordinate around. Classic power-ups like Overshield and Active Camouflage are inventory items that can be used at any time after being picked up, but are dropped upon death. For the first time, vehicles like the Warthog will handle differently depending on how they're damaged. For example, if their wheels or hood are blown off, eventually they will catch fire and explode. The Razorback is billed as a cousin to the Warthog with a multi-storage compartment which can be used to store things like detached turrets, power weapons, and fusion coils. Vehicles are dropped into the matches via Pelican, with a commander giving players a heads up, and the field is resupplied with arms via Halo 2 style Delta Halo weapon pods. Players will also have their own personal AI, which provides moment to moment updates and pointers during matches. Customization is said to be deep, with millions of combinations available at launch across weapons, vehicles, and Spartans. Players can choose their Spartan's body type, voice, and prosthetics, plus individual armor pieces, including their coating, emblems, and effects. Customization will be available via the Halo Waypoint website and app too. Another new Halo feature is Academy, which will include a series of onboarding experiences for newcomers who want to learn the game or just warm up before heading into matchmaking, from tutorials to weapon drills and a training mode with customizable bots. Whole lot of information to take in there.
Mm-hmm.
But start at the very beginning. Start where the title started. Halo is changing up battle passes. You get the battle pass, you keep it. You don't have a time frame to unlock it. You get it, and you can do it next month. You can do it in season 6 if you want. Good thing or a bad thing? What are your thoughts, babe?
I think this is a very good thing. I like the fact that you could potentially buy it, say it gets released in November, you could still be trying to plug that through in April or May the following year. Like, that's cool, purely because it doesn't limit you to absolutely slamming the game for 30 days. It's just there may be other battle passes that come out, but the specific one that you've bought can play till you've completed it. And if you wanted to buy a new one, because there's loads of other stuff in there that you wanted to, you can just change your progression tree. Like, this is cool. I love this, and I would like other games to try and take this. The only one that I think that would have trouble with trying to emulate, who would try and have trouble trying to emulate this, sorry, would be the Fortnite one, purely because of the chapters that they have and the other elements that they have coming in. So, like the Star Wars, for instance, they'll only have that for a limited amount of time because the license may only last for that season. So it's not as if you can go back and play the Star Wars game from 2 years. Sorry, the Fortnite chapter from 2 years ago, where we was playing it constantly, and you got to have all the lightsabers and that. They just won't be able to do that for all licensing reasons. But with this, maybe with no outside interference, you can come in and you can just play a particular battle pass until you complete it, and then move on to the next one. I really, really like this. I think Call of Duty could potentially do something like this as well. But I don't know. I think this is the best way to be able to go through a battle pass out there. Me personally.
Do you know what? I think you're right. I love the idea. Let me give you an example that I've spoken about quite often. When it comes to, obviously, my favorite BR is PUBG. I mean, I can actually touch it for the first time on stream. I have a PUBG loot crate right next to me, which was hung up behind my studio. I've got PUBG bits on the shelf. I've got a level 3 helmet sat there and stuff. So big PUBG guy, nice, yeah. I like that military helmet. I want the frying pan so I can smash people in the face. So when I get season 11, which is Pajama Party or whatever it was, season 12, I can't remember what it was. I've blocked it out of my mind since then, which was horrendous. Very, very bad decision. I can choose to not purchase that, but that doesn't mean, like, in Halo's terms, oh well, you've got nothing to work on. It's a case of, oh, you didn't finish season 6 those months ago when we had a desert camo army militaristic boots on the ground skin that you wanted but didn't finish. Okay, well, go do that instead. Which I love that idea. Chances are, if I'm heavily invested in 12 seasons in, I'm probably going to finish the other battle passes before. But if I haven't, that gives me the opportunity to go through and pick. Did I spot Vimto there? Okay, let's just see what that was then. Nice, get the Vimto. But that's cool for me. I get the idea of the timed closes on the battle passes, because that's whole from a commercial, not a user perspective, from a commercial perspective. If you put a limited time on something, you make it so that people have to get it now because there is a time close on it. You get impulse purchases. The fear of missing out is led by impulse, leads to impulse purchasing. Oh shit, I need it. I don't want to miss it. Boom, I bought it. Oh, okay. Maybe I didn't really need to spend the £8, but I've bought it now anyway. Let's crack on. But if you can buy that season pass, so if I can go back now and go, oh, I want a Deadpool skin, but I missed out the Marvel superheroes bit of Fortnite chapter 2 season whatever. Halo will go, okay, well, just go and buy that battle pass now. You don't have to worry about it, which is cool. I do like that element. And I've said before, I'm completely on board with the battle pass mechanic. Do I think it's perfect? No. Do I think it could get better? Yes. Is it better than anything we've had before? In my opinion, yes. In terms of games that offer DLC packages and things like that, the Call of Duties and stuff like that, I think battle passes are a better mechanic than anything we've had for that same type of game. Don't necessarily mean it should be in every game, but for that kind of game, I think it's wonderful. But it's not perfect, and Halo is iterating on that now. So the fact that Halo are going, okay, we see what you're doing with the battle passes. We understand that you've taken people away from being forced to spend £45 for the full Call of Duty season pass, as they used to call it, for the full game. £45, you'll get access to DLC 1, 2, and 3. You've got 3 timed DLC drops that no one else is going to play, that you never really get to use. It's not perfect, but we take £45 off you now. Whereas doing it the other way is, okay, if we split it down, you only have to spend £6 here and there. It's easier, more stomachable. Some people might not spend the full £45 so they can save money. Some people will overspend, but they get better content out of it. It's just... They've gone for that, but then gone, okay, well, why do we have expiry dates on this content? There's no reason for these expiry dates other than our internal commercial needs. So maybe we put the needs of the consumers first and just get rid of that. And it's genius. It's so simple and obvious. Will it work for them? We'll have to see. But the ideas is genius. I love it. Nice one, Xbox.
I'd love to know the demographic of who's playing Halo now. Is it the same people who was playing Halo 20 years ago? They're just a lot older. Obviously, I was playing it and I was 10 at the time. That was my obviously very first Halo. And then I was playing Halo 3 when I was 16, having a good time. And recently, I've gone back and played the other ones. I fell out of it once they stopped making them on the 360 because I moved on to my PS4 by then. So I was a lapsed Halo player. I say fan in the very loosest terms. I enjoy the games. Not a super fan like Jordan is, but recently went through and I played Halo Reach, I think, on my PC, and I streamed that, and then I went back and I streamed ODST because ODST was my favorite. So I'd like to know the demographic, because I think if it's the same people who was playing it 20 years ago and the player base haven't got new, like 15, 16-year-olds coming in and playing it. I'm wondering if this is because they know that people who were playing it 20 years ago have other commitments now. So they may have a full-time job. They may have 2 or 3 kids. They have a wife. They've got a house. They've got after-school clubs that they need to go and pick the kids up from. So all this stuff if they break it down, makes so much sense for them to be able to do, especially knowing that it may take the average user 2 or 3 months to be able to check it off rather than being able to play 3 or 4 hours a day like they used to do. That's the way I hope that they've kind of thought about this, because again, that would be Microsoft putting the consumer first, which is the kind of thing that they've been doing for the last 18 to 24 months, which is fantastic.
Speaking of the last 18, 24 months, I'll just jump back through the chat to get some comments from you guys in the chat. And Enix says, such a good response from everyone in the gaming community on Halo's multiplayer. Master Chief Collection was the test, and I think I mentioned it last week. Master Chief Collection set the standard of battle passes, and it could be the next evolution. Also, new training mode, you can go in and practice in bots in a lobby while you wait for your matches. Mr. T says, not gonna lie, that video got me hyped. True evolution of Halo multiplayer, and it will welcome in new players. In brackets, for me to kill. That's me! Well, and I'm dead. And I'm dead. Enix saying Fortnite has copied Halo in its recent battle pass. See, that's what you want to see, though. That's exactly what you want to see. Halo has a battle pass because it's copied Fortnite, and the like. I don't know if for certain if Fortnite was the first thing that ever had a battle pass, or whether they copied that from anything from mobile or whatever. But it doesn't matter where it came from. It's the fact that everyone is learning off of everyone, and I want to see more of that.
Evolving it.
Exactly. Adapt. Incorporate and overcome. Because that's the one. That's the one. Okay, let me take that off because the video's finishing. Nice. Case Right Zero says, I'm wondering how expensive an always available battle pass is, to which Enix says it'll be the same price. They're just removing the time limit. Player base is a mix old school and new players. Do you know what? I think, and this is a purely stereotypical view of someone that isn't an Xbox fanboy to the point where I have an Xbox One S, not even a One X. But I'm open to the idea of Xbox, but I'm not a Halo fanboy either. I would see Halo as being an older player base than the battle royale genre of shooters. That said, Xbox and Game Pass and everything Microsoft have done in the last 12 to 24 months 100% has opened the doors for that age. Let's say, just sticking shit numbers off the top of my head, let's say Warzone is a 10 to 24 game. Halo for me in my head is probably an 18 to 24 or 16 to 24. It kind of misses out the lower end. Not that the games are made for those age groups, but you know what games are like. People play everything anyway. I think everything Microsoft has done has opened the doors for more creators and more viewers, and therefore more players to be able to play that game going forward. So I would heavily expect Halo's bottom end to drop over the next 12 months after the game's released. There will be a lot more new blood for Asim and everyone else to teabag. Because let's face it, that's what Halo's about. Nice. I think that's the thing, right? Halo is big, but audience is probably mostly ones that grew up playing it. They probably know that, and this evolution, modernization, is their way to bring in new people. Smart about time. Halo multiplayer is fast-paced, fun. More people playing it. I like that. Exactly. Me no spell today. I saw it. It's fine. It's Twitch chat. It's fine. It's okay. Remember, Halo has teabag physics, and so it should. Anyway, we'll put a pin in that, though. So Halo Infinite Multiplayer, there is a 12-minute video linked in the article. We can drop the link into the chat if anyone does want it, so you can see the video for yourself. Watch the full 12 minutes. Updates, there you go, bib, nice. So that is in there. But sticking with Xbox, not going too far away, we'll jump into the next bit of news, which is that don't adjust your Xbox. Microsoft changes game cases again. Still green, though, says Owen S. Good at Polygon. There we go. Where does it start? There we go. Microsoft is apparently changing the game cases for Xbox titles. Box art seen at Best Buy and other retailers more prominently calls out the compatible platforms while eschewing the embossed Xbox logo that fronted game cases since the launch of Xbox One. It's a subtle change, and considering how many full copy sales of video games take place online today, one that some may not notice for a while. It also seems necessary considering Microsoft is supporting two consoles, and the Xbox Series X's backward compatibility notwithstanding, some games are in fact Series X only. Microsoft has long aspired to unify its video game presence under a single brand, but it still can't quite seal the deal. Xbox games are sold on the Microsoft Store, for example, while PC subscribers peruse the Xbox Game Pass for PC Library. And let us never speak of games for Windows Live, which Microsoft needed 2 years to finally shut down. Bottom line to you, the consumer, not much really. The design change probably means Microsoft saves a few cents stamping the Xbox logo on the top, and we now return you to your regularly scheduled E3. So big, detailed news. The package has changed. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I know it's going to take you a while to churn through this one, Bib, but give us your honest and detailed thoughts.
Yeah, I think someone who hasn't bought an Xbox game for a while, I think changing the packaging up like this to be more clear is probably the right thing to be able to do. Like I said, that not every single Xbox Series X game is going to be playable, backwards compatible. So the fact that it's clearly stamped on there and it has a big, like, white ticker at the top, I've got a PlayStation 5 game here. Funnily enough, it's Resident Evil. 1 second. It looks no different from the PlayStation 4 version, apart from it's got a white sticker at the top. But this looks same, but different enough to be able to notice the difference. So have I got a PlayStation 4 game? Yeah, okay. There's one for Asim. So Club 2, Resident Evil 8. There isn't much difference in that apart from let me just take it out the 3D case. Boom. It's just a little ticker at the top. Different color, that's it. Nothing else different. But this obviously changes the shape of what the logo is at the top, and it tells you exactly what is playable on, which is great news for people who potentially are buying these as gifts, because I imagine the returns on them would be quite high otherwise. So yeah, again, it's a nice little subtle change that probably wouldn't have cost them the world, but it's a massive step in the right direction again.
So there you go. I mean, I will jump back into the split and bring this up so you can see the subtle changes. So there's the new pack shots in the article. So Xbox
there's a
logo.
copy of Time Splitters as well. That was rogue.
So Xbox Series X, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, and then the old school, just Xbox logo. That does make it easier. And hopefully that will help parents, because we've mentioned it many, many times before when we were heavily in Meme City, that Xbox One Box X Series Box One S plus S X plus box. It's just like, what? So that might make it a bit easier. Nice. Box art looks so much better. Love the new look of the box art. I'll never see them in the flesh, though, as I'll be getting all of them on Game Pass. Touche. Chris says Xbox technically have 3 systems: Xbox One, Xbox One X, and now the Xbox Series S and X. Exactly, and that's I think that's it. So the One X and the Series X and the One S and the Series S. It's confusing. It's fine for us because we've understood it. Once you understand it, it's pretty straightforward, really. But there's parents out there that will have no idea, so that hopefully makes it a little bit easier. The fact that they've got the idiot box. It's just a little white bit at the top that says Series X, Xbox One. Boom, that's it. So hopefully that will help solidify the difference between the One and the Series consoles. Nice. By the way, we can play some Chaos on PS5. They fixed the demo. Is that the Final Fantasy one, or am I getting that mixed up?
Yeah.
Because I saw that it was down for 2 days or something, and I saw that there was an update message this morning. But yeah, there you go. Well, fill your boots. For us, though, we will jump into our next bit of news, which is Back 4 Blood DLC. If you know someone that's got it, well, you can play it. That's pretty much the message. As Andy Chalk, a PC gamer, says, Back 4 Blood DLC will be accessible to everyone in a party as long as one player owns it. It's basically the Spotify slash Netflix of video games. Nice. Turtle Rock wants to clear that point up right away. Back 4 Blood, in case the title isn't enough of a giveaway, is the Left 4 Dead-alike co-op zombie shooter that's now in development at Turtle Rock Studios. Over the weekend, Turtle Rock revealed how the game's PvP mode will work. As the survivors, one team of players will attempt to hold out against zombies known as Ridden in the game for some reason, controlled by another team. What it didn't get into, though, is how the game will avoid splitting its player base between people who purchase post-launch content and those who do not. The answer is pretty simple. Turtle Rock explained in a brief update that as long as the leader of a PvE party owns a paid content drop, including maps, modes, and campaign content, everyone else in the party will be able to play it too. On the PvP side, all players will have access to the same cards at the start of a match, so there will be no imbalance. And furthermore, all PvP-related content will be earnable through gameplay, so extra purchases will not be required. Players who don't buy the content drops can earn new playable characters and ridden in PvP for free through progression, Turtle Rock said. Additionally, all PvP players have access to the same cards at the start of each match, regardless of whether those players have purchased content drops or not. For now, Turtle Rock is fully focused on completing and releasing Back 4 Blood, so it'll be a while yet before we hear anything more about post-launch plans. But the studio said it wanted to clarify the point now to ensure that followers feel good about the game. Back 4 Blood shooting looks good, but the bigger question is whether it can replicate the all-Valve magic. Nat recently said there's something flat and indistinct about it compared to the games it hopes to emulate, and that's without the charm Valve's sensibilities brought to those first two games. Back 4 Blood will never be Left 4 Dead 3. There's still time to tune that up, though. Back 4 Blood is set to come out on October 12th. So there you go. Back 4 Blood does not have a battle pass. What it does is the more traditional DLC elements, but one of the things I was saying about battle passes, they are good because they iterate on DLC of days gone by and make them a bit more accessible. One of the issues with DLC is if you got it, you were in a different pool. Back 4 Blood hopes to get past that by meaning that at least one person you're playing with has it, means that you're not going to be excommunicated. Obviously, limitations to that, but what are your thoughts, Bib?
Yeah, I can't wait to play this game. It's inevitable that I will be buying Battle Pass stuff and things like that for this or DLC because I played the ever-loving shit out of Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. So yeah, this is fantastic. I mean, for someone who will be playing it a lot and then you potentially may pick it up later down the line, we both get to play in the same maps and shit like that. You can't argue. I mean, that potentially should be the staple going forward. I know they'll lose a lot of money because you potentially won't play it on your own. You'll probably be playing it with me, and then therefore they'll lose that money from you. But still, they'll be looking at trying to keep that player base active numbers high. So this is the best way to be able to do it, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I mean, the thing with battle passes as well is, as much as I love the idea of a battle pass in a game, it doesn't necessarily mean that every game it applies to it, and having those like open-ended solo squads, duos, and things of a battle royale-ish sort of game doesn't necessarily mean that pushing forward for content will work exactly the same in a game like Back 4 Blood. So I think they've probably sat down and had that a conversation themselves and said, okay, well, battle passes are nice, doesn't really work with what we're trying to achieve. So we kind of need to stick to that old. I say old as if it's outdated. That historic DLC sort of angle. But how do we modernize that? And as mentioned, there are modern examples. Spotify. Who pays for Spotify? Bibby does. Who gets it for free? Graham does, which is exactly how we would play Back 4 Blood DLC. So there you go.
Absolutely.
And we all know someone that has a Netflix account or a Disney Plus account going cheap kind of thing off of someone else. So we all know like that sort of stuff. People are used to sharing content with other people, with their player base. And that's kind of good because it means that someone like Bib, who might be, I actually want to spend a good 60 hours, let's just throw an arbitrary number at Back 4 Blood, whereas I might jump in for 10, 15, 20 hours. But if I have to spend that extra whatever money to play with Bib, I'm not going to do it. So that means Bibby's 60 hours are damaged, not just my 15 hours. So by letting Bibby pay for his content and then me jump in with it, Bibby gets his 60 hours and gets the full enjoyment. The 15 hours that I'm jumping in with him, he gets the enjoyment of that too. So yeah, it's good. I like the balance. GG's. And I like the fact that they've come out to squash that as well, because I don't doubt there was probably some rumblings of there's no battle pass. What is this? So yeah, it's nice. Yeah. It's nice. What Graham is saying is it's tight as fuck. You do know I'm northern, right? I mean, it's kind of in our nature. We're all tight as fuck. I mean, I work in the video games industry only because that means I don't have to pay for all the games. That's what it is. I get some for free. That's literally why I chose this job. Short arms, long pockets. Long pockets. These don't end, mate. These don't end. Love games that does this. Think Killing Floor 2 did this, says Enix. Return the Matter says, I have 3 brothers and we all pay for a different service and share the details. Yeah, so I am the Disney Plus purchasee. So I get I get Spotify off Bib on one of his spare accounts. I get Netflix off the mother-in-law, but I am the Disney Plus purchaser. So yeah, sharing is caring. I mean, just don't tell anyone that because I don't want to admit to being a northerner that pays for something. So yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. Anyway, so yeah, Back 4 Blood DLC will be coming free to anyone that has a friend that has it. So long story short, everyone, if you want to play the game, make friends with Bib, and you are covered. Nice. Okay, let's finish off with something a little bit odd. It's the simplest way of putting it. I did see this mentioned last year and kind of ignored it. So I haven't read this article, so we'll go through it together. But I did mention it at the start. Razer shows off its RGB-Laden face mask during E3 2021. More info about Project Hazel has been unveiled, including a Q4 release window. This is written by Chloe Prince at The Gamer. And before I jump into it, I just want to say I genuinely thought this was an April Fool's. When I saw this, I think it was around that sort of time, like one of those. You always see brands going in, this is our April Fool's. This looks like it could be real, but it's also bullshit. I genuinely thought that's what this was. So seeing this come back has caught me off guard a little bit. Anyway, earlier this year, Razer revealed that they're bringing out their very own face mask, which is almost certainly more interesting looking than your boring old surgical mask. Then, during their E3 2021 presentation, Razer revealed the high-tech gaming masks will be shipping later this year. Dubbed Project Hazel, this outrageously fancy facial covering looks like something straight out of a dystopian cyberpunk universe and comes complete with 2 vents sporting strips of RGB LED lights. Not only is it real pretty, but it also provides actual safety, according to Razer. I guess that's a bonus, right? Razer is describing Project Hazel as the world's smartest mask and as safe, social, and sustainable. The masks, which receive rigorous lab testing, come with a secure silicone face seal, an internal anti-fog coating, and an internal lighting, which will keep your face lit up with pretty colours when you're in the dark. Razer also boasts that each of the mask's filters lasts 3 times longer than a typical single-use surgical mask, and that production of the filters uses 80% less materials than the production of traditional surgical masks, meaning less waste will be produced. The safety aspect comes in thanks to the replaceable N95 grade filters and high bacterial filtration efficiency factor, active ventilation capabilities, and a fancy charging case lined with UV lights that apparently kills bacteria while the mask charges. So this is what the new normal feels like. Project Hazel is set to release in early Q4 of this year, and Razer warns that there will be limited quantities and that sales will thus occur in drops. You can sign up to get notified of these drops via the Razer website. Razer has also revealed a new gaming monitor, the Razer Raptor 27, with 2 versions boasting different refresh rates, 144 Hz and 165 Hz. They're also launching a fancy 130-watt USB charger for a cool $180, yikes, as well as the Razer Blade 14, a new gaming laptop complete with an AMD processor, which has the potential to be one of the best laptops on the market, according to YouTuber Mr. Sujano. Nice. Okay. Try not to mask your opinions here, baby. RGB-Laden face mask. Would you stroll around Aldi in one of those?
It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's genuinely ridiculous. There is a certain type of person that will be wearing this mask, and I can guarantee it will not be on my face.
It's how can I put it? Yeah, what's he called? Ryan Reynolds. There's a Ryan Reynolds gif that always gets shared, and is it where is it? He's dressed in a medical gown. I can't remember what film it's from, and it's just a
Green Lantern.
But why? But why? But why? I mean, Razer shows off its RGB-Laden face mask. But why?
Yeah.
But why? I mean, it's cool.
As Gary said, by the time we release this, no fucker will be wearing masks. I agree. Freedom Day was meant to be on Monday. It's now been pushed back a month. This isn't coming till later on this year. So there's a certain demographic in the world that will be probably wanting this. 3D face masks isn't it, Chief?
I mean, I'm on board with like novelty light shit. I mean, not you can really see it because I need to sort out my lighting out, but I have an Ice Cream Upwards neon sign there. You can see an LED play bar there. I have some on the back of my desk. My PC's tricked out with all. So I am the kind of person that likes RGB stuff. But why? Imagine walking home late night kind of thing. You've just got off a bus or got out of a taxi, or well, taxi probably the best bad example because that drops you outside usually where you wanted to go. But you've got off a bus and you're walking home. You stick your face mask on. It's pretty dark. That's just lighting you up. So it's like, hey, muggers and criminals, I'm over here. It's like a big flashing arrow pointing at you. Not only that, that's got to be expensive, right? So I remember like AirPods being stolen when they were first launched. If that's like 130 quid mask kind of thing, people are going to be just having those. Yeah, it's a bit odd.
Yeah.
Bit odd. I mean, I like it. I like the novelty, but I like the novelty was enough for me when it was just an April Fool's in my mind. Yes, there is. It uses less resources for the filters than it does for a surgical mask. Yes, it has UV lights that kill stuff. But every time you plug that in to charge your RGB, if they're talking about using less resources and stuff as if it's good for the environment, I don't have to plug in my surgical mask to recharge it. So don't be coming at me with the fact that it's good for the environment because it uses electricity. So therefore, psh. But yeah, there you go. Anyway, West, how are you? Good morning. Good morning. Oh, it's still morning. Nice. How's the PUBG going? Are you finished? Are you just dropping in to say hello? I would have expected you to still be on for a little bit, but anyway, how you doing? Anyway, we're talking about the fact that Razer is showing off its RGB-Laden face masks. So if you're not content to get rid of the social distancing that we've been putting up with the last 18 months and you think 4 weeks left of it is just not enough and you want it to go a bit longer, well, you can invest in one of these that will be coming out about 3 months, hopefully, after lockdown has finished. Well, maybe a couple of months after lockdown has finished. There's Q4 release window for an RGB-Laden face mask. There you go. Fill your boots. Probably not going to do that unless Razer go, would you like one of these masks? I'm like, yeah, go on then. I'll have one for free, but until that point, now.
It's going to be so expensive as well, and then you have to change the filters on them. They said that they last like 3 times as much longer than the surgical mask, which is fair enough. But the surgical mask cost me £1 for like 20, and the filters on this are going to cost like 40 quid probably. However, I did actually watch the Razer keynote speech, and I was skint looking at it. Like all of the stuff I really, really wanted, and then you see the prices flash up on the screen. So like for the laptop, it's 1,800 quid. For the monitor, it's 1,200 quid. It's like, oh, as if only I could afford stuff like that just on a whim. Just like not even think about it, buy it, and then move on. But yeah, the stuff looks so good as well.
See, I've stopped watching things like that because I tend to. A brand that I really like is Asus ROG, Republic of Gamers. Obviously, a lot of people would like it because it's expensive shit, but I like their styling. It's usually like over the top gamery stuff, but it's cool enough to like to get away from multifunctional stuff. 2 of my monitors are ROG monitors, so I love watching the ROG stuff. But I just sit there and thinking, okay, well, there's a microphone. And at the point of me watching the last conference, I had a Blue Yeti, which is a solid microphone. I now have an Elgato Wave 3, which is a very solid microphone. And they come along with a microphone. It's like, okay, well, that's looks okay. It's got an LED lighting kind of stuff on it. Not particularly amazing. It also looks a little bit, I'm not sure. Let's see how much it costs. £7 million. Okay, I'm probably not going to get one of those. Thank you, but no. So
I've just seen Chaos's comment. Be good for a rave though.
just imagine that. I mean, they will absolutely 100% be showing up in a film like Triple X. Do you know, like he goes to like some Eastern Bloc country in the middle of Europe, and there's always some guy with a complete shaved head, nothing on his top half, tattoos everywhere or whatever, and it'd be some stereotypical Polish or Russian accent. And then they go into a club, and it's always like scantily clad raves, chains, fire coming out, and stuff like that. Yeah, that is the environment. That is when you can wear one of those masks. So if you find yourself as an extra in Triple X 4 or whatever, then fill your boots. If you're going to be in the next Triple X film, grab one of these. We would highly recommend. Do you know? I wonder if we can get that on the product marketing page. Do you know when you go to a website and you get those little indents of text, and it could be like, if you're going to be in Triple X 4, must buy. Ice Cream Uploads 2021. There you go. There you go. That's it. Sold. That's it. We found your audience. And on that bombshell, let's wrap things up. Jumping through. I'll never understand why clear masks exist. The only good thing about having to wear a mask is mouthing "fuck off" to the idiots in front of you in the shops because they can't see you do it. See, I don't even need that because I've got like light up masks. I mean, not that you can really see them, but I've got an Iron Man helmet there and a Doom Slayer helmet there. Both of those have lights in, so I could just walk around Tesco in one of those, just flipping people off kind of thing. Well, not flipping people off because that would be the hand and stuff, and they'd see that. It kind of defeats the point of a mask. But yeah, there you go. There was a comment that David said, "We're not tight. We just have a good grip." Exactly, says the North. Thank you very much, David. Had to stop for a family issue, says West. Oh, I hope it's not anything serious. I'm assuming it's not because she sat in the chat. Because if it was serious and you were just chatting about LED face masks, then probably not the best role model. But it's fine. We appreciate the commitment to the cause. So thank you very much. The wife's bleeding, but it's fine. When you talk about LED face masks from Razer, imagine rocking up at the British Legion with that fucker on. Just imagine it though. You're like watching like Derby versus, I don't know, another team next year. Derby sitting 17th in the table, like close to the drop zone kind of thing, and then it just cuts to the crowd, and you're just seeing like the usual like dejected, heartbroken faces, and then there's just someone stood there in the crowd with that on, looking heartbroken. You'd be like, "What the fuck? The fuck?" Clear masks are for deaf people who lip read. Yeah, David, you insensitive. Anyway, on that bombshell, thank you everyone for being here. We are going to wrap things up. I did mention it a second ago, but we are going to disappear. Appreciate you being here for another episode of The Scoop. We'll be back at 10 a.m. with the next edition of The Scoop. As it's Tuesday, there's usually no additional streams, but also, as I mentioned, we will be back tonight around 4:45-ish. We'll be back live on this channel. Myself and Bib will be joined by Show for the Nintendo E3 Direct. So there is two Nintendo broadcasts. There's the Direct followed by the Treehouse. The Direct's about 40 minutes. The Treehouse is like 3 hours. We will not be covering the Treehouse, but we will have you for the full Direct for a watch along tonight. So feel free to come back and join us for that. Before any of that, though, Mr. Bib.
Yes.
Is there anything you want to add?
Yes, again, thank you very much for joining us, not just this week, but for the entire weekend, not just on our channel, but on our friends' channels as well. You guys are the MVPs that I've been making, especially with shows like last night, just making it a lot more enjoyable because we kind of lost interest, but the chat kept us going. So you guys, absolute fucking legends. But if you do want to help...
I need to interject. We did not lose interest because to lose interest means that there was something that had our interest in the first place.
Yeah, the 3 seconds of Resident Evil wasn't enough to keep my interest. But if you do want to help shape our show going forward, then there's 2 ways that you can do that. First of all, find us on social media. It's at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social media platforms, or get involved with our Discord. All the links that you need will be in the video description below if you are watching this on demand, or in the chat now. All we need from you is the URL plus your thoughts and impressions. We would then give you our thoughts and impressions on the very next show, Scoop, which will be at what time tomorrow, Mr. Graveday?
Well, that's going to be at 10 a.m. Ish. 10 a.m. ish. We go live at 10 a.m. ish each and every single weekday. We work in the video games industry, so the streams come around the work. So sometimes it's 10 a.m., sometimes it's not 10 a.m., which is why we get the ish. An exclusive subscriber remote. It covers us off. It's fine. It's all good. Nice. What we are going to do now, though, is raid a friend. So if you want to grab yourself a few extra channel points, any Twitch affiliate or above, I say above, like this, any better, but you know what I mean. Any Twitch affiliate or partner will have the ability to have channel points on their channel, which is what we have. So if you want channel points, which allow you to make me sit up straight, or you could buy yourself a sub if you're around long enough. If you want to get any channel points to save up for those kind of things, then feel free to stick around for the raid because you get extra points, plus we get to help out a friend by sending a few extra viewers their way, so stick around for that. But that's it for us. Have yourselves a fantastic day. We'll see you at about 4:45 p.m. tonight, twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. Me and Bib, joined by Mr. Nintendo himself, Show. Sorry, that's the one, Show. Hopefully he'll have some Pokemon news in him, because that would be the best thing ever. Watching Show just erupt in every sense of the word on stream. The only way you can see it is by joining us tonight. Until then, have yourself a fantastic day. And stay frosty.
Stay frosty.